Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to get the values of the array. In the previous video I have already talked about it, but we used the first way using the index loop, which goes traditional loop. But in this video I'm going to talk about enhanced loop, or either we call it enhanced loop or advanced loop or the for each loop. So let's get started. So how do we get the values of the array? First of all, I'm gonna create an array again. I'm gonna call it num curly brackets, and then I'm gonna give it a value 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5, right? This is our array. This is how we decorate the array, right? If it is integer, integer, if it is string, string array, and the variable name, and then inside of the curly brackets we give the value of it. Okay, so the first way, traditional way, is to using the traditional loop, right? I'm gonna int I equals, I'm gonna say 0. If you are starting 0, then I have to get the last index of the array, right? And then I less than or equal num dot length minus 1. What is this? This is last index, right? If I'm starting from the 0 to be able to retrieve the values inside of the array, elements inside of the array, then I have to get the last index of the array and then I plus plus. So how do we print them out? How do we reach the elements inside of the array? We need to use num I, right? Num I. So how does this work? And then I'm gonna put some space here. So how does this work? Why does this work in this way? Because so the element name, the variable name, the array name is num, right? And the num I, so first iteration, num I is gonna be 0, right? Index 0 is gonna be 1. And the second index is going to be 1, and the index is going to be 2, right? And the third iteration is going to be 2, right? And the third index is going to be 3, right? But the element is starting from 1. So let's print this out. As you guys see, I'm going to print on the same line. So as you guys see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is how we get the values from the array. If you don't want to deal with the traditional loop, then there is another loop that we can actually retrieve the values from the array, that which we call for each loop. I call it for each loop. So what is our the data type? Data type is integer, right? Data type is integer. It is starting with int again, and then you have to give it a new name. What is it? Element, right? Element, and then double dots, and then I'm gonna put num here, right? So what am I doing is here, okay, num is gonna be equal element now. So what I can do is element. So element. So you don't need to, here you are dealing with the index loop, right? This is index space, right? It is starting from the index, but here you don't have to deal with it. You can just directly print the array out using the for each loop, right? Using the for each loop. So again, I'm gonna print this out this way, and then you will see that you will have the same result on the console, right? You will have the same result on the console, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say if our array is string, right? If our array is string, let's say names, right? This is gonna name, so I'm gonna give it a name, some names. And then since you are using string, it's gonna be Mike, it's gonna be double dots, right? I mean, not the double dots, but it's gonna be under Mike, and then I'm gonna print my name out, and then I'm gonna put maybe Susan, right? Maybe Susan is gonna be. So what I did is I decorate my array, and then my array type is string, right? My array type is string, data type is string. Okay, now then I start with a string, and then it is names, and I'm gonna call it name, and then which is gonna be equal names, right? And then you can easily print this out as name. How easy it is, right? With the for each loop, it is more easy than traditional loop, which is index-based loop, because how you decorate it starting from index, right? Starting from index, that's why they call it index loop. Okay, as you can see, I'm able to get it on the console by using the for each loop or advanced loop or an enhanced loop, right? This is all I wanted to show you guys in this video, and I see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.